We are joined by Mondli Makhanya. He's the City Press Editor-in-Chief. A very good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for joining us. So let's pick up on that renewal program of President Cyril Ramaphosa. Hearing this back in 2004 at the January 8th statement by then President Thabo Mbeki, saying that our task is to ensure that we rally the largest numbers of our people democratically to renew the mandate of the People's Movement, the African National Congress, to continue governing our country as we achieve new advances during our second decade of liberation. That we are here speaking about it today tells us what?
It tells you that we are correct to be very skeptical about this, that this has been, the word renewal has been in the ANC's vocabulary for a long time. It's a buzzword. If you think about it, immediately after that speech by Mbeki in 2004, what then happened? The ANC went on to elect Jacob Zuma as its president. It went on to elect very dodgy people onto its higher structures and as chairpersons of the provinces and so on. And there was a flooding of the ANC by very dodgy individuals, and the ANC became very dirty between 2007 and then the present. So, and this word comes up all the time after every conference. It comes up after every election when the ANC has suffered losses. And so it is actually very meaningless. Now, what the ANC intends to do, as the president was saying, is that it's going to actually set up a structure to drive this renewal. The ANC has many structures. The ANC, if you went just by the ANC's constitution, the ANC's constitution is supposed to actually produce the best among us, among people, among the citizens. The ANC has an integrity commission. The ANC has documents, policies through the eye of the needle. Now one wonders, what is this committee going to do? What should give South Africans faith that between today and 2032, the ANC will actually be a very different organization from the one it is today? And lastly, I just wanted to say that within the high structures of the ANC, within the NEC and elsewhere, there are very, 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 very dirty people who will resist, as the president has said. So whatever it is that then the noble and objectives that he is setting out, I seriously doubt that they are going to be achievable.
In outlining priorities for the ANC in 2022, the first being build a social compact to decisively address unemployment and poverty. Working with all social partners, we must accelerate economic recovery and reconstruction and ensure that social services are provided to all citizens. My colleague Sipa Gema is in the Eastern Cape following floods there and assessing the devastation that has been caused, littered with informal settlements in East London, at least for the first crossing that we saw during this afternoon. That we are still talking about building social compacts to decisively address unemployment and poverty. Another buzzword?
Yeah, if you look at various speeches that this particular president has made since becoming ANC president in 2017 and as part of and as president of the Republic in 2018, this word social compact has come up over and over again. And it is again a promise that is being made. You have in this country, you have a structure called NEDLAC, which is actually supposed to drive that social compact. I mean, because it's composed of governments, business, labor, civil society, and that social compact is supposed to be driven through NEDLAC. Why do you say you are going to do so? And again, why have you not done so over the past 3 years since you have been in office? I do feel sorry for the president because he is, he faces massive, massive problems. Some are not of his making, some are of the makings of his predecessor, but he was sitting next to his predecessor at the time, so he cannot make those excuses. But if you look at what he's facing, you have an economy that is in the doldrums. You have infrastructure that is crumbling. You have unemployment of an unimaginable scale. There's crime, there's social issues. So he has to say something that gives hope, something that actually sets a tone for the year ahead, that people actually can believe that this 2022 is going to be better than 2021. Then at the same time, he's facing so much attacks within his own party, there's so much rift within his own party that he is not fully in control of his own party. So, but then you've had the huge incidents of last year with the July riots, you've had the burning of parliament this year, and there's so much dysfunction going on in the society that one understands that he actually has to say something. But then when you say something, actually do it. In a month's time, he's going to be delivering the State of the Nation address. And again, there were promises made last year, the year before, about big things that the government, him in his capacity as the leader of government now, was going to do. And again, 3-4 years down the line, there actually isn't any concrete movement on any of the fronts.
And true to any January 8 statement, it actually speaks to what should happen in terms of South Africa's engagement with the rest of the continent. Interestingly, he notes that a border management authority will be established, and we think of the issue that is happening in Zimbabwe, or between Zimbabwe and South Africa, for instance, right now. He also mentions the situation in Ethiopia, in Mozambique, in Sudan. What is South Africa's relevance in relation to the rest of the continent, apart from just sending envoys?
Unfortunately, we are an island of relative stability on a continent that is full of turmoil. And one might actually, as I say, it's relative because we've got our own turmoil in this country, but compared to our neighborhood, who are actually in a very bad neighborhood, and Africa is not getting its house in order, as was mentioned. You've got Ethiopia, you've got Zimbabwe, which seems to be regressing at a very rapid rate. There's instability in Swaziland. Nigeria has the problem of banditry and insurgency. So all over the continent there are fires, and so unfortunately, where we find ourselves at now is that there aren't any credible leaders that the current South African president can actually partner with to actually resolve continental problems. This at the time of Thabo Mbeki, there was Obasanjo, there was Bouteflika, there were other visionary leaders of strength. And unfortunately, right now, South Africa does stand as the only country where actually there's a sense of continental responsibility. Everybody else is putting out their own fires, if not actually stoking fires within their own countries.
City Press Editor-in-Chief Mondli Makhanya, thank you for availing yourself this afternoon.